All right. Femi just joined us, but he'll have to catch up as we go. All right. So here we go. Ready to go. So today we're talking about topic number 2. Hang on, let me just load the title of that real quick. In the meantime, I do want to reiterate the whole purpose of this 5-day class that I put together for you guys. It's really focused on digital product and digital service creation. All right. Now, I get the sense that a few people want to use it for other types of, to promote or create other types of products or services that are not strictly digital. And while it is possible for me to train you on some of that, the main focus of these lessons is digital product, digital service creation, digital service authority positioning, and so on and so forth, and marketing. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
All right. So please,
Yes.
if you have anything in mind that is different from digital products or digital services, this class is really not for you. It's not for you.
Just a quick one.
Yes.
Just a quick one.
Yes.
When you say digital products or digital services,
Yes.
so are you talking about because I just need it to be clear. Are you talking about products that are not, if it's not digital, so these are products that, say for instance, like a shop selling clothes, or that's not digital?
Well,
I know that's not digital.
Yeah, they're not digital, but they have a digital platform.
Okay, so something like that on a digital platform is what you're talking about.
Well, you could connect this to that in a way, but really what I'm talking about is intangible services, intangible goods.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm really focused on for this training.
Okay.
That's really my core skill in any case. But over the past 12 years or so, I have been consulting with companies of all types. But I do need to reiterate that we need to be focused, otherwise we'll be all over the place. So the focus of this is digital product, digital service. If you have because like Fola mentioned, you have an idea for a comparison website, that is kind of digital, but it's not a real digital service in the sense that you could have a comparison website also, a comparison service off the internet, right? But it's a little bit, let me explain it from this point of view. If you create information for sale, this is the ideal class for you. Whether you're doing it as a coach, whether you're doing it as a consultant, whether you're doing it as ebooks, whether you're doing it as any form of training, this is the right class for you. But if you have something else in mind, you might be able to, pick 1 or 2 points to use for yourself. Now, the reason I'm stating that very clearly is I'm going to be going ahead talking about strictly, digital stuff, right?
Yeah.
Digital product, digital service. If you have something else in mind, just listen and pick what can work for you. I don't want you to shut down and then not listen to me. That's why because if I'm talking and it's not for you, for what you're thinking about, you may just shut down completely. And that doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. Are we on the same page?
Yes.
All right. And the good side of this is, even if you've never thought about being a digital marketer in the sense of selling products or services that you actually create on your computer, if you've never thought about it, maybe this class will help you position your mind for that. And I'll tell you this is probably the best type of internet business you can have. You can have all the other types as well. They're great, they're fun, they're fantastic. But where you create content for sale, it's the easiest type of business to manipulate to work for you. And I say manipulate in a good sense, not negative sense. You can structure it in almost any way. It's psychologically, you can add and remove, but for the others, they are sort of rigid in what you can, do with the product or service, because they are rigid products or services. All right. So this may just bring you to a new vista if you've never been thinking about it, and if you have, then it just solidifies that for you. All right. So let's get started with today's class, which is about creating digital products, ebooks, reports, any kind of e-content. All right. So are we ready to go?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Awesome. So here we go then. Right. Today's class is titled "How to Create Best-Selling Digital Products with Ease." Now, best-selling, fast-selling digital products, very important. There are tons of people who have created digital products. They haven't made a dime, right? They have something wrong with the system. Also, they create products in very cumbersome ways, very difficult ways. I remember mentioning to Fola yesterday that the number one way that I am able to make products that sell very easily is because I sell them to myself first. I think about what is it that I am having the most difficulty with. I look for solutions for that.
We lost you.
Yeah, proprietary solutions for myself. Once they work, it's easy for me to say, do you have a problem like I do? Here is a solution you've never thought of before or nobody has ever shown you before. Automatically, people that have that problem will gravitate towards me because a solution nobody has ever talked about before. So this thing is driving me insane. Then they go for it. Now, I'm not saying, only come up with product ideas that help you. What I mean is, after using the strategies that I talked about in the first class, Fola, you remember all of those strategies. Once you meet all the first 15 strategies, then you can pick something that applies to you. If it doesn't apply to you directly, you need to, find a way to humanize the problem, personalize the problem. If you're, for example, selling something about a product or service you know nothing about, what you then must do is you must research that product or service. You must research it as though you wanted to be fully involved in it. Let me give you a very good example. If I wanted to sell a solution on how, let me think of something that I don't have any relation to whatsoever. So I'm going to use something like this. How to get rid of acne. All right, that's a very common one. How to get rid of acne. I've never tried to get rid of acne. I don't even know what it means. If you told me what acne was, I probably wouldn't even know unless you explained it to me. I probably have had the problem before. I probably have it now. I don't know. I don't really care about it. But if I wanted to sell a product or service about that because I went through the 15 steps and I found that, this is something that is viable for me to do, what I would then do is I would go on the internet and I would research everything possible about acne. I would get myself immersed in it. I might even pick up the phone and talk to a few people. I might even visit a doctor or two. I might talk to a doctor or two. I basically become an expert in this subject within a very short period of time. It's the smartest way to make money on the internet. It's the easiest way to make money on the internet. The easy doesn't come during the process you're building it. The easy comes once it's done and you launch. The money starts to come easy because you've done all the groundwork before you launched. What I find is that most people do not do when I say most people, I'm talking about 99.99999%. I've seen these people just mess it up for years. They do not do the groundwork. They hurriedly put something together, hurriedly think all you have to do is put yourself in front of the millions of people on the internet, and maybe a small portion of them are just going to be interested enough to give you their credit card information and put thousands and thousands and millions of dollars in your pocket. Please get it right. It doesn't work that way. It just does not. And I'm very, very personally sick and tired of a lot of the coaches out there that make it look like it does. Because I know them, many of them I know personally, many of them I have trained personally, and I'm very disappointed with what I see out there. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And another thing that I want to point out to you, when you have a fast-selling product, it does not necessarily mean that you're going to become a millionaire or a billionaire or a thousandaire. You might just make a couple $100. That might be enough to solve a problem that you need to solve right away. This notion of becoming an entrepreneur because you want to be rich is a negative notion. What it does is that it positions you easy target for the wrongest programs and strategies out there, the ones that promise you the moon when there is no moon to give to you. But if you're down to earth with your thinking, if you are like, look, I've invested $100, and if I make $200, I've made a profit. I've done really well. If you think that way, you will be automatically attracted to the people who teach the truth about internet marketing and who will really help you. That is not to say don't dream big, but please dream realistically. If big is realistic for you, go for it. If big is not realistic for you at the stage you are in, or whatever stage you're on at the moment, please work with that. All right? Am I getting through to you guys at all?
Yes.
Because all of the get rich quick schemes, they're out there and they're selling really fast. Because most people are desperate and they will buy. And I would bet you bought a couple of them already. I could bet almost anything. And then you get it, and then you read it, and then you find out it's all BS. And then when you meet people like me, people like Coach Kemi, people who really want to help you, you don't have any more money left. And then everybody loses. It's very frustrating. You can't imagine the number of people contact me, please help me, please help me, almost on a daily basis. And I say, well, that's fine, I can help you. My time is precious though. This is how much I can help you. And I'm sorry, I'm broke. I just bought a lot of crap. I don't have any more money left. Are you kidding me though? Right? And some of the reason why I do some of my stuff for free, my wife isn't very happy about it. But the reason why I do some of my stuff for free is because I have to try and reach out to people who have done all these mistakes and just get across to them somehow. So in creating your product or service, the first thing that you have to understand is that it has to be genuine. It has to come from within you. Even if it's not something that you are an expert in yet, you gotta be an expert in it at some point if you want to sell it. Now let me take that back a little bit. When I created my first ebook, my very first couple of ebooks that did really well. My first ebook, the first free ebook I put out on the internet, eventually over several years got downloaded over 250 million times without me marketing it. I didn't put it out there and start pushing it and start advertising and start begging people. I just put it out there, put some systems in place to get it go viral at the beginning, and it just took on a life of its own. Right? The reason for that is not because I was an expert when I did it, but because I was, immersing myself in the problem as I was building it. Fola, if you remember yesterday, I said something about Coach Kemi being so real when she talks. You remember that, right?
Yes, yeah.
You watch some of her videos. You see sometimes when she goes, you need to do this for your life to be better. Wait a minute. You know what? It just occurred to me. That's something I should be doing as well. This is really good stuff. You've seen her do that, right?
Yes.
I've never seen anybody like that in my life. It's weird. I thought I was good at, being real. But when I watch her, I'm like, wow, this woman is the most down-to-earth coach I have ever seen in my life. And because she's so down to earth, she touches the real problems that I have. Not the fake problems, the ones that I hide. I hide my problems away and then I put a fake problem up there. Look, this happens all the time. You're going to get it on the internet. People say, I have so-and-so problem. That's not the real problem that they have. But they are too ashamed to tell you what their real problem is. So you end up not being able to help them. But when you meet, when a person meets somebody who's so down to earth and says, look, I have the same exact issues as you. I have the same exact issues as 10,000 other people out there. And I don't care what people think. I found a solution to talk about it. I'm fixing it as we speak. Here's what I'm doing. You're going to attract the best type of audience. And that's where the easy comes into it. That's where it just becomes easy. It just becomes like you're having a day out. It's not so easy that you don't work at all, but it's easier than if you were trying to be fake about it. All right? So that is the first mindset thing that I need you to understand. Coach Kemi would call it thought set or think set. She doesn't like to talk about mindset because mindset, I don't remember how she explained it, but the way you think has to change. All right? So that's number one. So now, having said all that, let's get to the very first strategy. Do you guys have any questions or concerns about what I just said before we move on?
For me, no.
All right.
Okay. No.
All right. So the very first strategy, here it is. If you want to create products that people really want, if you want to create products that people really crave, one of the best ways to do it is to get other people to partner with you to do it. More heads, they say, are better than one. Definitely, they say 2 heads are better than 1. I say more than 2 heads are better than 2. More than 3 heads are better than 3. As many as you can get within a realistic, within reason is a definite way to go. Remember, I gave you the example of, solving a problem with acne. If I had the idea, I've done the research, I see that it's really could be a really hot product to put out there. I don't have experience in it. I'm going to partner with a medical doctor, for example, and say, look, you're a medical doctor. You probably don't have time to market on the internet. Why don't we build this thing together? You bring this thing to me. We talk about it. I interview you. I put the product together. I put it out there. We make money. We split it either equally 50-50 or whatever works for both parties. That's an idea right there. In fact, you could be sitting in your house right now not knowing what you want to sell on the internet, and I guarantee you, you do your research, you find a hot selling product. All you have to do is look within your network or find somebody that you can, make friends with, and before you know it, you guys have a product out there that you could be making you money in no time at all. It's not that hard to make money on the internet. The problem with making money on the internet is because of the thing I just said. People are looking at just the dollar signs. They don't see the real problems out there to fix. All right?
Okay.
That's one strategy. I'm here. I'm here if you want to partner with me on something. It blows my mind, the number of people that connect with me on the internet, and it's unbelievably few people realize that they can actually ask me to do something with them. They don't. And it's odd. All you have to do is ask. I might say no. In fact, I've said no a few times because I have to analyze who's asking me. But it surprises me the number of people who should ask me who never do. And then a few years later, they're like, oh, man, I would have loved to work with you on this or that. I'm like, well, I was right there. So more heads, definitely better than one. And if you can get yourself in bed, with the right people, you could be making money a lot easier than you ever thought. All right. A lot of people have done this very successfully. I know you guys know the book. I can't remember the name of the book. I think it's Think and Grow Rich or something like that. Do you know that book?
Yeah, Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
Napoleon Hill did exactly this thing. And I believe it was his first book. And it was probably his bestseller till date. So what he did was he went out there and he interviewed some of the wealthiest people that he could get. I think he was a reporter or something like that. He was a journalist. He had a journalist background. So he had access to people like that, as a journalist. And he just said, look, I could get these guys to sit down, talk to me like they're consulting with me one-on-one. I write that down, I package it really well, and I sell it. The book is still selling today, probably over 100 years ago when it was written. The idea is get together with other people who have what you don't have, give them what they don't have, put it together to give people what they don't have. You just made money. All right? Are you guys getting me?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I didn't lose you guys.
Yes.
Did you get that? Okay.
I'm with you.
All right. So.
No.
Yeah, I caught it.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think I caught what you said.
Okay. So what were you losing me though? You were losing me at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately. Okay. So what did you miss? Tell me where did you get it up to?
What you do?
Looks like
I'm okay with you.
Okay, Ola, you got me. You got everything I said.
Yes.
All right, okay. So in addition to this, I'm going to send you some written material. Okay. I'm going to send you some written material so that we just go a little bit faster. There's some content that I have written for this. I'll send that to you guys after the class. All right. So let's move on to that. Yes, I should talk about this. So you might ask yourself, how do you get these people interested? Now, there's this thing that I talk about. It's so easy to get people interested to work with you. All you have to do is make them an offer they cannot resist. That's all you have to do. If you want to get somebody's attention, all you have to do is give him something he really desperately either wants or something that he really would so much appreciate that all he has to do is say yes to get it. Now, that's on you to figure out what that is. If you come to me and you want to partner with me, don't be thinking about what is in it for you. Be thinking about what's in it for me. That's when you get my attention. Most people go out there thinking, I want to partner with this person, but what's in it for me? What's most important to me? And you always will, usually you will get a no from that. Now, if I tell you success stories of all the collaborations I've ever done, whether it's I've worked with people, I worked with £100 million company. 100 million pounds.
Wow.
All I did was I called them up. It was unbelievable. My wife still doesn't understand how I did it. I mean, I'm not a multimillionaire. I've never told anybody I was. So for me to walk up to a multi-million-dollar company and say, look, I want to partner with you guys and I want to be your sole representative in the whole of Nigeria to do this or do that for you. And then to even listen to me, there was something I said that most people probably don't think. And all I said to them was, I will work with you guys. All of the services that I'm supposed to charge you for. I'm getting an echo. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
all of the services because I work as a PR consultant as well. And I said, look, as a PR consultant, I can get you guys on TV, I can get you guys on radio. I know you normally have to pay for stuff like that, but when you work with me, you don't. I will just get you guys the best TV radio highlights you can think of, and you don't have to pay me. All I want is to be able to say that I work with you guys, I partnered with you guys, and we work together. My company name right next to your company name, and that's all I want. Look, who would say no to that though?
Wow. Nice. Yeah.
Automatically, they didn't even think about it twice. Because usually when people come to them, they would come and say, look, so, in order for us to do this for you, maybe you need to pay us this or pay. And then those guys are sat there thinking, yeah, we have a budget for this. Okay, write a proposal. And that's the end of the matter. At that point, it's all over. Write a proposal. It's going. I talked to the guy, the guy that worked the deal out for me. I brought another deal to the table. And that deal that I brought to the table was a bit bigger than the first one I asked for. And he said, you know what, this is a multi-million-pound company. You know that if I have to say yes to this, I have to take it all the way to the board, all the way to the president. I cannot promise you that I'll get the answer back to you anytime this year. Anything that is complicated for people to think about, anything that's complicated for people to decide on, to do with you, don't put them in that position. Just don't put them in that position. If you put them in that position, they will likely say no to you. So make it so easy that the person goes, of course I'll work with you. I mean, that just makes absolute sense to work with you. Do that and you'll get people saying yes. And before you know it, you'll be all over the place as well. Let me tell you what the second advantage to doing that is. Nobody knows you now. Trust me, if you connect yourself with 20 people who are, well placed in their own industries, or 20 people, just 20 people, could be 20 average people who don't even have massive following. But there's 21 of you. Each of those people have networks of their own that you don't know. So let's just assume that's 100 people each that you don't know, you've never met. Now you partnered with them. So that's 20 times 100. That's 2,000 people you would never have met, or you would have had to pay through your nose to meet. And all you had to do was just partner with people to get there. So there's so many advantages to it, and you need to start to work on concepts like that in order to get yourself out there faster, better, stronger, and all of the positive things you can think about for your business. Are we okay with that? Yeah? Okay, I think I have somebody on mute. So Fola, are you good with that?
Yes.
Fola is good. Fola, are you good with that?
Yes.
I did hear that bit. So what did you...
Okay, you didn't hear me say something?
Yeah, I didn't hear that last bit.
Okay. What did you hear?
You said, I'll be okay with that, but I'm not sure what you're asking.
Yeah, I was asking if you're okay with this this portion of the lesson. I was talking about you getting there and networking with people in order to get your name out. Did you get that? Now looks like I'm losing Fola. All right. So unfortunately, you might need to just watch this part.
Sorry,
Of
it's
it back. Yeah. Ola, you are fine, right?
yeah. Hopefully,
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. I think there's just a problem with the UK. UK. All right. So
Okay.
let's move on to the next point. As I said, I'm going to send you some written material. So in that written material, you'll see a couple more ideas that I don't have time to share with you now. All right, are you ready for strategy number 2? Hello?
Okay.
Are you
All
ready
right.
for number 2?
Yes, yes, yes.
yes.
Okay. So here's number 2. You don't have to, if you're talking about creating a digital, what do you call that? A digital product.
Digital product.
Like an ebook or whatever it is. You don't actually have to write the ebook all the time. Like most people think ebook, well, that means I have to write a book, chapter 1, chapter 2, and all of that. Or when you think about, offering a service, well, I have to think about what kind of service can I offer. No, you don't have to do that. I talked about this yesterday. Sometimes all you have to do is just compile resources. Just become a resource, a resource hub for other people to tap into. You know what? One of the greatest businesses on the internet, one of the greatest, in fact, did I say one of the greatest businesses on the internet? Actually, 2 of the greatest businesses on the internet, and one of them definitely for sure, is based on this exact concept. It doesn't have anything of itself to offer. It's not offering any particular service or solution. Instead, it's
Come again, please.
the
Please.
greatest internet marketing business today, the greatest web business we know.
Okay.
The greatest one is based on this premise.
Yes. Okay.
It doesn't have any product or service to sell, not really. Instead, it's a hub. It's a resource hub for other products or services, and that's why it's the greatest one, because it's right in the center, so everybody's connected to it. Everybody's connected to it. So when you're looking for something that you can't easily find, you don't go to where you can't find it. You go straight to the guy that has all the answers, because he's connected to everybody else. Does anybody know who I'm talking about?
Google.
Amazing.
Google.
Amazing.
Google. Well, you mentioned a couple. Amazon is one.
Amazing.
Well, I was talking about Google actually, but Amazon has basically the same premise.
Yeah.
As does Facebook, by the way. Because Facebook is basically just a hub where everybody comes and meets. It's a genius idea. I used it back. I mentioned this. I used it for a product I call Autoresponder Gold. And Autoresponder Gold was basically the first of its kind. Nobody had ever done it in the internet marketing circles before. Everybody had email courses. So they would have these email courses that you would sign up for, and over 4 or 5 days or 7 days or whatever, they would send you automated emails with, some teaching material, and, you would, obviously then learn from them, and maybe you would buy something from them. As a result, you want more training from them, and so on and so forth. This was back in the early 2000s. This is when all these strategies were new. Nobody knew what they were doing back in those days. We were all just trying different things. So email courses is one of the stuff that really caught on. And so many people had email courses, so many people. But I realized that it was so difficult for me to go from one website to another website to another website to another website to download all these email courses. It was driving me crazy. So I put together a resource. I called it Autoresponder Gold, because those email courses come to you as autoresponder messages in your email. I called it Autoresponder Gold. All the top autoresponder messages you can imagine in internet marketing for internet marketers in one place. Nobody had ever done it before. So I became like the Google of my own niche. The product took off like a rocket.
Oh, what's going on here?
Unfortunately, it looks like we're missing. Fola is going on and off. Ola, you're getting me, right?
Yes.
So the product took off.
Yeah.
Fola, you're having some problems, right?
I know. I don't know what's going on here.
Maybe you want to try and log back on and log out and log back on. In fact, let's all do that because we're running down on time on this class. So let's all log back off. Let's log back off and let's start 2 minutes. I need to get a drink of water anyway. So 2 minutes, we'll all log back on. Okay.